as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, the red Terran player, it is Coda. And up in the top right-hand corner, the blue Protoss, it is Sagan. And I'm interested to see what Coda's going to pull out here. Typically, he's someone who's, even when he's good at the matchup, not a big fan of TVP. And he's not afraid to mix in something a little strange, a little aggressive, a little outside of the standard Protoss or standard Terran arsenal in this matchup. And especially considering how good Sagan is, he's a very, very good player. It would not shock me. It would not shock me if we saw that here. Now it does, yeah, he's checking for proxies, it looks like. No such thing going to be on the way. Sagan appears to be gearing up for a 1-gate expand. And that's what I was talking about. There's barracks number 2. Now this is actually a little annoying. Oh, don't lose that. It's actually going to delay that Rax a little bit initially. Gonna have to send out that second SCV to get some defense there. Oh, traps it. Nope, it gets out. And it's gonna leave. Blissfully unaware of the second barracks, at least for now. Oh, can he block it? Oh, not quite. But he might be able to trap it in. There's gonna be the reactor. What will we see good on here? A reactor. Ooh, ooh. And double gas. So Sagan got it. He got in the main. He sees this. And the alarm bell's got to be ringing a little bit here. Double gas this quick. He knows it's not a C or a Reaper expand here. It actually looks like it's going to be Mass Reaper here? Huh. Well, I've never seen this one before. Yeah, he knows that probe's there. So far, just one Reaper in production here, though, for Coda. Not going to let that out of the base. We're going to see how he chooses to respond here. It's going to be Adept first, second gateway on the way. So typically you'll see off one gate that first tech building go down, but Sagan smelling something a little bit strange in the water here is not going to go for that. The Twilight's going to follow it up, but he wants to make sure he gets that second gateway up pretty quick as well. And it looks like there will be a CC here from Coda, but not before a lot of Reapers hit the map. Now keep in mind there is a pretty solid jump up point here on Ice and Chrome. And a decent amount of space for maneuverability, and so far these corners are not cut off. Now they could be if buildings get placed there, cut off the pathing so Reapers can't run around like crazy, but right now they're not. 2 Stalkers on the way, but 4 more Reapers on top of the 4 that are already out. That's going to be 8 Reapers. And a third barracks as well. Huh. Okay, Coda. Okay. You cheeky, cheeky boy. Let's see what you've got in store for us. So here we go. Getting on into things. At this point, he sees the Reapers. He knows what's coming. Blink on the way, as well as a Robo. And 4 Stalkers and that Adept. Now at this point, I think it would behoove Coda to rotate around, try and get into the main. Because once Blink finishes especially, these Reapers are going to be kind of dicey to make work. Obviously, they've got a lot of maneuverability, they've got that regen, which is nice, but they don't scale well. Especially against these hearty Blink Stalkers. So he's going to come into the main. Shield battery's not done yet. He's going to get a Stalker, maybe 2. Some bombs go down as well, but now that shield battery's there, that pretty much makes this an impregnable position if there are units in place. Reapers don't really have the DPS to get through. Triple Marauder. Okay. Triple Marauder, Marauder slow, and Stim. So there's going to be a lot of gateway units coming out here for Coda. And they're going to be coming hard, and they're going to be coming fast. Now, this initial observer is staying at home. He's probably worried about Banshees, but that means he won't get out to scout in time, which is a little rough there, because if he knew this was coming, obviously he would want to get an Immortal out. Coda kind of lurking in there between there. Ooh, a little bit of a misclick there from Sagan. Gets one Reaper, but probably could have gotten a little more there. Ultimately, not a big deal. These Reapers have been contained as a threat largely. This is a lot of Marauders, though. And against a huge Blink Stalker army, this could just be like, hey, I know you're going to react with blind, or not blind, but mass Blink Stalkers. So I'm going to... Oh, they're going to blinked on. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the Reapers. Well, actually, a lot of them get out. Third base going down here for Sagan. And I actually wouldn't be shocked here if Coda ended up pulling the boys. Yeah, there we go. Boys are pulled, or at least some of the boys are pulled. Because if he can catch this out, there's no charge. There's a lot of Marauders with Marauder slow. And we see they do dish out a lot of damage here. But that's actually really good for Sagan. Picks off 2 right off the bat. Stim, not yet done, meaning he can't really get on top of this. And he needs to kite his way back to his bases here. Great Blink micro so far. The Reapers are actually coming in from behind as well. Disrupting things with those bombs, and he's picking off a fair few Stalkers. 9, 10 SCVs have gone down. He needs serious damage done, though. All those SCVs going down. The third is not enough. There's the Stim, but now the Zealots are in play, and all they need to do is sit there and be a meat shield in between the Stalkers and this bio. Blinks to the side there does Sagan. Another Stim out here from Coda, and keep in mind, with no medevacs in the sky, this army doesn't have a lot of durability, and there's more Zealots coming. Blinks forward there does Sagan, and again, these Zealots soon to have charge. That will make engaging this a lot easier for him. And here we go. GG is called. Sagan with a very good technical defense there. As here we go on the left side here of Golden Wall. Representing TSOP, it is Crown. And over on the right side, representing Ris3n Competitive, it is Foz. So TVT, I think, actually I was about to talk out my ass. I don't really know how TVT operates on this map. I'm trying to remember if I saw any of it in GSL. Nothing springs immediately to mind. I have seen some of our amateur guys pull out some mech play on this map, and I think that would kind of make sense. Especially with that back base, it's kind of a little bit easier to kind of batten down the hatches and kind of control 1, 2, 3, and lock yourself in, or even 1, 2, 3, where you have like somewhat limited lines of assault there. Especially in TVT with how tanks work, it's really hard to push into that or up that. And you can lock down the drop ability of this with somewhat ease. Oh, boop. The old middle of the map bump there. So far we see Crown is opting for a much, much faster second gas seer than Foz is. And in fact, Foz still on 1 gas. Huh. So it's going to be a Reaper expand here from Foz. Okay. I had heard that that was not something you want to do, but maybe that's a lie? Maybe that's a lie. Reaper's going to come out here. The factory with that Quaker gas is going to be a lot faster here for Crown. But he's scouting around, making sure he's not getting proxied. But again, the CC obviously a lot faster here from Foz. Looks like Crown isn't doing anything crazy though. No, like 1 base shenanigans. There is the CC. Tech Lab coming up here on the factory, likely going to get out a Cyclone first. Foz is going to get his production up as well, and I feel like we're going to enter the mid-game in a relatively stable manner. Bunker coming up just in case any of those Reaper Hellion plays try and bust up his front or run by. They're not going to be able to do that. Did he see the CC? No, I don't think he did. Okay. Although based on everything he saw from the build, he can probably infer that. As we are off to a slow start, but often a slow start means a dramatic mid-game, so I'm pretty okay with that. Those TVTs that just kind of end when one person does a drop or gets their units picked off, I find pretty boring, but the longer the game goes, typically the more exciting it gets. As positioning and stuff like that becomes all the more important here. It looks like Crown's going to do a little bit of a push out with the bunker on the high ground. I can't really imagine this getting much of anything done. I guess he could maybe try and run by with the Reapers and then run up with the Cyclone. That could be a little cheeky, but seems kind of like an unnecessary risk, and I don't think it's one that he'll end up taking. Looks like he's going to check the front. Loses a Reaper for his troubles, but yeah, I mean, Reapers rapidly approaching the phase of the game where they are not that important at all. Looks like it's going to be a Cloaked Banshee play here from Crown, and a Raven and Cyclone from Foz. Gotta say that that's probably pretty decent for him. Banshees and Ravens. Or, sorry, Banshees, Ravens and Cyclones. Oh, no, he takes out the Cyclone. It's going to be a tank. Okay, so that's better for Crown, actually. Obviously, Cyclones can lock onto the Banshees and just kind of shred them, but without that, he will still have the Raven, but things will be a little bit more difficult for him. Fast third CC here from Foz, clearly a macro play. Wants to start up. Oh, it's about to finish. I was about to say a little bit of a supply block, but it's only a minor hiccup as that depot is going to finish up pretty quickly. And Cloak is on the way as well. Now he's got them. Oh, actually going to get his Hellions picked off. But again, much like the Reapers, maybe useful to have around to spot things on the map, but they are outside of the part of the game where they're mission critical. So it is certainly going to be bio play here from Foz. Still a little bit unclear here from Crown as to what he's going to go for. The Banshee is going to come in. But the Raven going to get on its horse and get over here. Probably going to drop an auto turret. And then with the assistance of Marines, ward this away a little bit. Gets a little bit of hull damage done, but ultimately with the Marines and the Raven, he should be able to ward this away. Does he have another auto turret? I think he does. Oh, Foz. I think he might be able to get this. Oh, what are you firing at? Don't kill your own depot. He gets it. Gets the Banshee. So that's a nice pick. It's a very nice pick. Crown takes a little bit of an SCV lead. His third CC. A little bit behind, but almost done as well. I expect that to kind of be recuperated here from Foz as the game gets going a little bit more. This is a pretty big push here from Crown. Yet still, I feel like this is going to be a tough nut to crack here. Second Banshee coming in. Salvaging the bunker, that doesn't help. But even still, this high ground is pretty strong. Where's the Raven? Oh, wrong Raven. Needs to get that Raven in position. There's a Viking now out now as well, so he can effectively zone here. And this is a good contain, and I like this if he chills down here and maybe forces him to take the back base, or even just delays the third. I like it, but I really can't imagine him having much interest in going up the ramp here. I'd like to see Foz push forward with his aerial advantage, though he is going to kind of mind the back here, make sure that the Banshee does not go around and kind of mess with him. Ooh, this guy's getting each other. Oh no, Foz! Ooh, bleeds out a lot of Marines into tank fire there. He's getting a turret up here as well. I like that play. But that was really costly. He bled out a lot of army supply, and now that's reflected in the numbers. We see he's down 10 army. Gonna go for a drop here. What's there in the main? These two Vikings are moving down to intercept, and obviously they will be able to help deal with it, but... Ooh. Those turrets not really gonna get much of anything done. These guys scanning each other, but... Yeah, I feel like Foz should kind of abuse his air superiority here a little bit. This CC is retreating. think that might be a misclick as he does want to get that landed on the gold. And I would really like to see Foz start mining out the back base and taking that. Where'd that drop go? We do have a drop here from Crown, moving around the bottom side. But again, this is a tough position to break here. It looks like he's going to go for it. Needs some clutch disables there. That's one on the tanks, but the Marines are kind of getting stifled up on themselves. And overall, you got to say that this went pretty well here for Crown. The contain gets broken, but at what cost? I guess they kind of trade out armies here, but Foz is a little bit late to the gold base punch here. And there's a drop in the background as well. A tank sieging up in the main. 3 SCVs, 4 going down. But he needs to get this under control here. Viking's going to land. The Raven goes down. Actually, that's a big deal. He's going to clean it up at the cost of 5 SCVs, but right now, things are kind of coming up Crown a little bit. Taking a look at the upgrades. We are even. Looks like Crown has started his +2 attack a little bit sooner, and the armory is just now on the way here for Foz. Crown scouting forward a little bit. So these armies are dangerously close to each other here in the middle of the map. And again, the nature of TVT is that one engagement can swing things around, make them go in the other direction. Tanks tend to do that as they explode units very quickly. But still, it's going to be an uphill battle from Foz from here on out. It looks like Crown is rotating up and going to try and dodge by this army and maybe anchor himself in a better position. At the very least, you should be able to delay this base. Scan goes down. He sees that that's the rally point, and he goes, okay, where's your army? Actually moving into the main, I feel like he thinks that this is a Doom drop. It's not. Crown is actually just maneuvering around the top side, and this has to be so stressful to deal with in TVT. It's just the way that these armies maneuver. Oh, might be able to stim in here. Will Foz. These 3 tanks are going to siege up, but they might be able to get some huge shots off here on the Marines. Looks like it's going to be a clean from Foz, and it cost him a lot, but he didn't lose tanks and Crown did. So I'm thinking that's an alright trade. There's another drop in the main, though, actually going off. This is going to be a lot more costly here for Foz. As that tank is sieged into a good spot. It is going to get taken out, but still these Marines are getting some good damage done to clear out 9 SCVs. Reactor going down as well. Foz responding now will force this back, but all of these blows just causing him to start to hemorrhage units out. And again, another drop on the top side, going to start to deny this 4th. Stimmed Marines dealing that damage oh so quickly. As he comes back in, this one not going to be as effective here for Crown as he is going to get clear. Well, actually, gets 2 tanks for his trouble, and now you got to say Crown is in a commanding position. These drops have kind of pulled Foz apart a little bit here. Missile turret's going to take out the medevac, but now Crown smelling blood in the water while Foz is kind of defending from these peripheral attacks, going to dive onto this gold base, and there is nothing here to defend it. Foz has fought a good fight here, but it looks like Crown has got this one in the bag, I think. Good tank shots off, but even still, these Marines are just going to sit here and deny some mining. Lots of SCVs going down, 16 in total, and he's going to dive on this, and I think it's going to be enough. That is going to wipe the tank count of Foz, clear out most of his remaining army supply. And with that, I think end the game here for our Ris3n. Yeah, Yeah, he's gonna see the superior Marine count. He scans the base. He knows GG is called.
Change your song, you know?
Yeah, yeah, right? All right, I've done all the intros so far. You're the guest here, Foz. You want to do the intros?
Absolutely, buddy. In the top right, representing TSOP Gaming, the Red Terran player, it's Bombilla, speaking some beautiful Spanish in the chat, I believe. And
And
representing Ris3n Competitive, best damn team in the league, it's Ris3n Competitive's Raz in the blue trunks for the Zerg.
And considering Raz's name is so close to yours and that they rhyme, do you think that that will have any effect on this match, Faz?
Well, I would say it has an effect, but we are waiting for the Raz Faz show match.
We really
And
are, dude.
we are trying to organize it, but as soon as it happens, I'm happy to jump into some TVZ. I feel like I'm a little better at TVZ since I got my boy Steven as a practice partner. But my TVT clearly needs work after today. Pretty standard opener so far from Bombilla.
You reading the chat, dude?
Clearly focusing on this chat, yeah.
I like no hablo much español, and then that it's okay. Like these guys clearly only have a tenuous grasp on each other's primary languages, but it's okay. StarCraft is the universal language that transcends whatever tongue we speak in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very early scout coming out from Bombilla. A little bit scared of those early pool openers that people have been showing off in the team league. Very popular right now, I think, in these kind of pro league style formats where people can bust out a best of one, you know. I think it's really, really good as a Terran player to just get that early scout. Make sure there's no Roach Warrens or cheeky pool timings coming down. Of course, he gets over there and sees a beautiful hatch first. Hatch gas pool. Nothing to worry about. Raz is playing straight up. He's my boy.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to not see the SCV chill at the third a little bit. I feel like I see most Terrans do that just to make it that much more annoying. Buy yourself time to get the Reaper there and then delay the third. But Bombilla's not opting for that, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good thing to do when the Zerg is going for that greedier hatch, third hatch. But with how Zergs are pretty much metagaming that right now, since Terrans are really favoring that 20 supply scout and going straight to the third, Zergs are tending to grab their ling speed a little bit earlier and trying to grab that before their third hatch. As you can see, he's loading up many more queens, so it looks like he doesn't want to throw down any sort of early thirds. This is a meta game for the SCV being placed at the third, but of course Bombay is way ahead of him, sending that SCV straight home and back to mining.
Yeah, and we're approaching 3 minutes, no third. Okay, there we go. The third is going to get put on location now. He's got the queen and the lings running escort. They're actually kind of slowing that drone down.
This is a very well protected drone. I love this.
Yeah, right? Like, the queen's
that's
like
that's
nobody,
the queen's escort, yeah.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Like, that drone was protected, man. No one was getting to him. But it's going to be a 1-1-1, not a 2-1-1. I think that makes sense. We don't really see the 2-1-1 being popular anymore. And the question now is what the follow-up's going to be here for Bombilla.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what comes out of this starport. There's a lot of different options you can go. That's usually where the 1-1-1s differ. I mean, we're going to see Marines, we're going to see some Hellions. The real difference is what he makes out of this starport. And it looks like a medevac.
Hellion drop?
Oh, this is a Hellbat play. This is the Hellbat. This is the 4 Marine, bunch of Hellbats, medevac drop. Surely going to follow it up with a Liberator. We're going to want to see a Baneling Nest for Raz as soon as possible, hopefully. He looks like he's preparing for early Banshee and maybe early Liberator with the early Spores. But we need a Baneling Nest. Revolt, we need a Baneling Nest.
Yeah. Oh, don't kill your own depot there, Bombilla. But yeah, I mean, those Hellbat pushes, I feel like they're so hit or miss whenever I watch them happen. Because it's either like, oh, I don't have Banelings, and Lings just like, or Hellbats just LOL Lings, or, you know, the Banelings are there, you can kite it with Queens until you get the Banes, and obviously Banelings against Hellbats, that isn't pretty either. But in this scenario, you're right, Raz does not have Banelings available, meaning this, especially with the Liberator to follow it up, could get a little dicey here for him.
Beautiful pullback by Bombilla, just waiting for those extra Hellions, making sure that this Overlord doesn't see any shenanigans coming out. And there's still no Baneling Nest on the way. He started producing Lings, but the Hellbat Morph is going to be right on the third. He's got quite a few Queens to work with, and there's plenty of Spores to deal with this follow-up Liberator. So I think it's down to Raz's control right now. Does he decide to give up the third? I think he does. I think he
If
just
he does,
surrenders
though,
his
the third CC is already on the way, and with +1 ship or vehicle weapons, we see it's going to be mech behind this. But here we go, actually a good surround here. Picks off the medevac. That's a good start
Oh,
here.
beautiful pick off on the medevac. That is really, really important. That's going to allow him to grab these Hellbats a little bit better. Nice target fire on the red Hellbat. Nice hold by
Yeah,
Raz.
he's got this. Yeah, I mean, oh, don't kill your own overlord, Raz. Rest in peace. But yeah, I mean,
Big
the
flood of
Hellbats are the
drones as a
zone there.
follow-up. Big flood of drones coming out as well for Raz. He feels pretty safe, which he should be. He just got to deal with this Liberator. 5 kills for it. A little bit of a pullback. Not mining. This is doing quite a bit of damage, but the Queens are on the way. This should be shoot away very soon.
Yeah, these Queens gonna make short work. Actually, the Liberator gets out. I really like that play from Bombilla. A lot of Terrans would just kind of yeet that in, let it get in there and maybe die, but keeping that in the back pocket for later, really nice. And it is going to be that mech style that we were talking about is so popular right now. 2 factories about to land on tech labs. But actually, Raz goes in right as that happens, and you know, you were speaking at the beginning about how important it is to figure that out, and it's really, really good that he did that here now. And it's actually Thor's first.
Thor's first. So this is
He thinks
going
it's
to...
Muta, or
No, it could be that. He could be that he thinks it's Muta. He doesn't see an early layer, so I'd be surprised if he's thinking right now that he's worried about Muta, especially since this NG Bay is just going down now. If he thought it was fast Muta, I feel like he'd get an NG Bay really quickly and start producing maybe some mines to put around his base. I believe this might be an early Thor Hellbat push with +2 attack. We'll see what he decides to do with this, but this is a really strong build. Making about 4 to 5 Thors, bunch of Blue Flame Hellbats, and that +2 upgrade. It's going to be so strong versus Ling-based sort of play, but I believe Raz is going into Roaches, and he is making that armor upgrade, which I'm not a humongous fan of, but actually against a lot of Hellbats, maybe that is the unit that you want to do it, especially since Thors attack in 2s as well. Looks
yeah,
like
I
he's
mean the
gearing up for
thing
a
that I
Thor
always think
drop right
about
now.
with the he is doing a Thor. Oh no, I think he's just using them to get across the map faster. I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, zoom zoom.
This
Yeah,
is
I
a
mean the
strong
thing with armor
attack
though
by
is like
Bombio.
it's so based on the attack speed, because obviously your armor only ticks on that, and neither Hellbats nor Thors really have a fast attack speed. But yeah, he needs to get some roaches out here, and if he cancels this 4th, I gotta say that's really, really, really good for the Terran. I think he's gonna do
Absolutely.
it.
This is a really strong follow-up to this push. And of course, not having those mutas to pressure these Thors out of the medevacs is a little bit difficult. Roaches are the choice against here. He's got 13 on the way, 5 Ravagers as well. I think he'll be able to hold, but having that 4th cancelled is really annoying. You need a lot of econ to deal with mech.
Yeah, the Ravagers are here now. Again, in theory, they should deal well with everything that's here, especially if he gets those medevacs that would kind of take away
Nice
the escape route.
piles.
Yeah, forces him back. And that's sustainable here for Russ. Again, I think the goal there was to kill, or at least cancel that 4th. Because right now we're at 3 base to 3 base, which you've got to say a mech player just has to be happy with.
Absolutely, absolutely. The worker counts are exactly where Bombio wants them to be. Raz has not been able to explode to that 80-90 drone count that you need to deal with mech. It looks like, oh wait, it looks like he's gone for a massive roach push. He's not droning up. He's not droning up, Revolt. This is all in.
Yeah, and the tank count is low, but this could still be a little bit of a meat grinder scenario. These tanks are positioned well, they're pulled back, and oh, that push-in is going to be strongly denied here, as that roach ball just got a whole lot smaller really quickly.
Beautiful spread of tanks, just an endless wave of tanks going all the way up to Bombia's natural
Swarm
base.
hosts.
Swarm host and drones on the way. Looks like he wants to transition out of this. Looks like he was just trying to pressure. He did get a few depots at the front there, maybe pressuring, maybe setting up for a future Ling run by later in the game.
And I feel like that really puts the, whenever you see that many roaches as a mech player, you're like, tanks, 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 I need to get this position locked down in case there's that, like, huge roach flood. But it's not that. He's actually following it up with the swarm hosts, which, if he kind of can get himself in good positions and maneuver them around, I mean, locusts on siege tanks doesn't typically go well for the tanks.
Absolutely. I'm a little bit worried for Raz right now because he doesn't have a Nidus network. the Swarm hosts kind of need that Nidus network to be able to maneuver around and be able to send Locusts into the Terran base. If you don't have that Nidus network, they're a little sensitive to Hellions. And Hellions may not do a lot of damage to Swarm hosts, but picking off one or two, Swarm hosts are not cheap, Revolt.
They really aren't. And again, I mean, the old value over time meme, but it's true. When you see the best players in the world use swarm hosts, they keep them protected, they get them into the positions they need to get damage done, and you see that actually stack up and stack up and stack up to the point where, whether it's the Protoss or the Terran, they're like, I can't just keep taking damage to these units, which are just a cooldown, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. +3 attack on the way for the Terran player. He's back on that Thor production, which, of course, once you get that solid tank count, you feel safe. Starting to add in those Thors is so dangerous. When Thors get in a huge number, Zerg really struggle dealing with them. Nice roach spread here away from the tank fire. Gonna grab a Thor. Maybe pressure this fourth base a little bit.
Great positioning on those Hellbats, though. Right? If he wants anything getting hit by Locusts, it's those Hellbats, and they are able to absorb that shot and deal a lot of damage. It immediately goes into Hellion mode and is hunting down the Swarm host. That's such a smart play there by Bombilla.
This is exactly what I was talking about, Revolt. He's grabbing 2 or 3. These Hellions are not going to kill all these Swarm hosts, but just grabbing that value. These are just mineral units for Bombilla, and he's not losing any of them. He's just grabbing free money right now.
Yeah, and it actually looks like a fair few of these will go down. It looks like at least 4 or 5, and he might be able to snag 1 or 2 on the way out. Nope, he's going to back up. Playing it a little bit more conservatively. The Spire now on the way, as well as more Swarm hosts. Raz has established that 4th base. He's got a 5th on the way. But Bombilla, at this point, like you said, I think can play the slow game. His upgrades are really good. If he can get his Thor count up, those late game mech armies can be tricky to deal with.
If I was in Bombilla's ear right now, I'd be saying exactly that, Revolt. Play for the long game. The worker count is not unbelievable for Raz. It's actually higher for our Terran player. Mech is the story of efficiency. We have the efficiency advantage in almost every trade. What Zerg needs to be able to do to win against Mech is be able to replenish their army so many times that the Mech just cannot deal with it. But with 74 drones, Revolt, I don't think he can remax that quickly. He has developed quite a decent bank, but that's enough bank for maybe 1 remax. Sometimes to beat Mech, you need 3 armies.
Yeah, oh, and he's going to be able to run down these. Oh, okay. Forces it back, but kind of a panicked Locust wave here. Gets back into Hellbat mode.
This is a lot of Swarm hosts.
It is. Oh, and he actually lands on the tank. Friendly fire.
On the Locust.
Oh, he almost got like 3 more tanks there. He was like 1 shot away from that.
That's
on the right
using
side.
3 units.
Yeah, the roaches are going to get cleared up by these tanks. And I gotta say, this is such a patient...
Muta.
Whoa, yeah, 19
Big
Mutalisks.
Muta. This is very good for Raz. This is the plays I love seeing Zerg players do. The second you start telling that Terran player, you need tanks, you need Hellbats, you hit him with the Mutaflock. He's got 2 Thors, no turrets at his 3rd, or his natural, or his main. He's got turrets nowhere, and he's going in a speed Banshee. They don't shoot up.
They do not, and there are only 2 Thors on the field here. I feel like Bombilla's maxed. If we see him push here, I would really like to see Raz kind of keep these mutas back, let Bombilla do his big max push, get out on the map, and then realize, oh, crud, I only have 2 Thors. Because at that point, mutas can absolutely start to shred things.
Remember, Revolt, having 200 supply is awesome, but when you have 200 supply, you can't make any more units. Yeah. And it looks like he is maxed out right now, and there's this massive Mutaflock and only 2 Thors. There's no anti-air. He's got 3 mines on the way, but let's see how much damage he can do with these mutas. Flying straight into the missile turrets, grabbing the center tower. And now he's starting to pick off SCVs. Let's see the tanks go down. And lots of damage going down. That's 7 workers already. The Thors are on the way. 14 more mutas for Raz. I love it.
Oh, big shots go off there, though. A lot of mutas go down. That count that was at 19 is now down at 6. 5.
Shoddy micro coming out from Raz. A big bunch up on those mutas, letting these Thors get maximum efficiency. These are +3 Thors.
And across the map, the Banshees are hitting the Swarm hosts. A very patient and technical defense here from Bombilla. It looks like is serving him well here. Is going to get shoved back. These Banshees are going to go down. That's good here for Raz. But again, 68 drones. He lost a lot of gas units. And like you said, remaxing is so important. Gas, typically the limiting factor there. And he's lost a lot of very important gas-intensive units.
Absolutely. I really like that play for Raz, but just a little bit lacking in the control. He can't keep his mutas alive. Mutas are just like mech in a way that they're so expensive. You need to be so efficient and keep them alive to really get the full juice out of them. And now Bombia is free to just grab a massive Thor count and use this upgrade lead and this econ lead to maybe levy a win in this match. I'm really liking Bombia's position here, but Raz is definitely not out. Hellion Rumbai coming into the 5th base. Oh, that's a lot of workers, and those are Blue Flame Hellions.
Ooh, yeah, it is. And I feel like what we're seeing now is what Zerg players are largely struggling with is, oh, he's actually going back in with the mutas. He might be able to get some more SCVs. That'd be really good. He can probably take on this turrets. These Thors not exactly in position. He might be able to rotate into the natural as well. 24 drones have gone down. He's remade a lot of them, but he needs to be so careful of those Thor shots. But as I was saying, like,
Thors hurt so bad.
they really do, especially when these mutas bunch up like this. But when you have a mech Terran here that is going to play patiently, going to hit those initial timings well, like Bombia did, and then fall back on such a patient and kind of calculated defense like we've seen from him, it really feels like you're boxing with the ocean here as Raz is looking for openings, but Bombia's defenses is just getting a little bit the better of him, it seems like, at every turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Really textbook defense coming out from Bombia, and here comes the death push. This is Bombia's had enough. He wants to levy this econ lead and this supply lead that he has, well, slightly supply lead, and he wants to start taking out bases. 5 roaches on the way, but I'm not really liking Raz's position holding this base. It looks like he's prepping for a Ling counterattack, but this is a lot of mech revolt.
Yeah, and I'm struggling to see what there is here to kill it. I like these counterattacks. Yeah, they're gonna get on things, but again, these blue flame hellbats, like, that's a long cooldown, and actually some of the swarm hosts wandering into tank fire as well. Bombia absorbed pressure for so long, and now, like a coiled viper, he is going to strike, and that strike looks like it's going to deal a lot of damage. 30 mutas on the way, but they're going to be coming out from multiple hatcheries, and there's a lot of Thors here.
There's a lot of Thors with a lot of upgrades, Revolt. I don't know about this one. Maybe with a beautiful magic box from heaven, I don't know, but
+3 Thors with no armor on the mutas. Oh, oh.
Oh god, they two-shot those mutas almost. It's unbelievable. I think they do two-shot them. I don't even think it's almost. I'm pretty sure they two-shot mutas.
Oh, that's disgusting. These mines gonna get some good shots off. It looks like that Locust counterattack will get a base. And it's good. Ras has done so much right this game, but Bombia has just been steadfast in the face of all of these tech switches and plays that, Ras has pulled out, and he's reaping the rewards here, as these mutas are really all that's left. I don't think they can go toe-to-toe with these Thors, though. Like, and that's kind of the be-all end-all, is he needs to go toe-to-toe with these Thors, and I'm just not sure if he can do it.
I guess Raz's plan here is to basically base trade and hope that he can win in the long run, but I think with these 2 Thors at home and all these missile turrets, oh no, the meat grinder begins. Going for the magic box, he's trading so inefficiently. That's 1 Thor down for like 6 mutas.
And there's still 4 turrets there.
Okay, I mean, 2 more Thors pop out. Ah, that hurts. I wish.
Oh, and then there's 2 even more Thors. Yeah. As Rossi played a good game against a very good player, but it looks like Bombia is going to win the day here. Another Locust Wave is going to come in. Yeah, I mean,
you gotta respect it.
You really do. Obviously, whenever I cast him, I'm typically not rooting for him because he's always playing against my team. But as I said, I've seen him play a lot of times. He's a very good player. I also told you he likes bio, and here we see the mech. I told you that would happen.
He's calling you out. GG well played as well by Raz. And the 3-0 goes to TSOP Gaming. Really well played by